Well, hey guys, thanks so much for joining me. Today we're putting the question out there: is technology, I wouldn't say killing the experience, but maybe taking the joy out of it, taking the pure experience out of fishing? Guys, when I think back many years ago, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old. I can remember we lived in an old dirt country road, and taking half of my mama's loaf of bread, a cane pole, a little split shot and a little hook on it, and going down to a pond that was about a quarter mile from the house, and rolling up little dough balls and catching shiners. And I mean catching them now. We was catching them. And that was exciting. And I can still remember and feel that excitement of catching those shiners. So you didn't know one day to the next. You might go down there and not catch nothing. But I was pretty sure I was going to catch a shiner or two. So that's my question. Is technology taking the fun out of fishing, taking the joy out of it? So guys, now we have technology, and believe me, I love technology. I try to keep up with it all I can, and I love technology. But when it comes to fishing, the technology we have now, and just think the last 50 years of technology, think about the next 50 years. So you've got sonar, right? Fish finders. And you got the side scan, you got down scan, you can scan everywhere. And you can look over that way and look at your sonar and say, there's a fish out there 15 feet away, 6 feet below the surface. I can cast over, I can catch that fish. So you do. So is that taking the fun out of it? My generation, we fished on just pure joy and instinct and what we've been taught and what we've learned. I still have my original fish finder. It's a Humminbird, the one with the gray and it's got the black blocks, and still have it. Still works, just don't have a transducer for it. My father was an avid and a very successful freshwater angler. And I never had known him to own a sonar or fish finder. Never known it. A compass, yes. When he was offshore fishing in a 14-foot aluminum boat. But I can remember him, fishing by moon phases. And we fishing in a pond, you're not taking tides into consideration. But he would fish moon phases. And if it meant going out at 1 o'clock in the morning to catch bass in the lily pads by the moonlight, that's what he'd do. So that's how I was raised. Just pure fishing and fishing by instinct and what you knew and what you were taught, what you learned. So on my kayak, I have a Garmin. Pretty simple, I thought, when I bought it. But it's probably more than I need. I've always thought I need water temperature, I need water depth, and that's it. Where I fish, it's got all these where you can lock in places where you caught fish and caught. I got a pretty good memory, so I pretty much remember everywhere I've caught fish. That's something that just locks in your brain. And I took some, I wouldn't call them online courses. It was on YouTube. It's a creator, and he did a whole series on this particular Garmin. And it's a Garmin Striker 4. It's got a whole bunch of stuff on it. A whole bunch of stuff I don't need and didn't really pay attention to. Kind of fell asleep in class. And, marking spots, and, I did a lot of offshore fishing, and, man, you just hit man overboard and say, hey, something happened here. Hopefully it wasn't a man overboard. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on the technology. Is it taking the joy out of fishing? Is it taking the pleasure out of it? I enjoy going out fishing. And sometimes, believe it or not, subconsciously, I look forward to getting skunked. I look forward to not catching fish because that pushes me to try harder the next day. And I've never been skunked, guys. I just ran out of time, the old saying. So, what do you guys think? Is technology really taking the fun out of it? Are we cheating? Are we, I think we used to be on kind of the same plane with the fish, We were trying to fool him that this was the food, the bait he was looking for. Are we now, I guess it's, you're still trying to fool them, but you're actually seeing where they are, not having to guess. This looks fishy, let's cast over there. This looks fishy, let's cast over there. Or looking on your screen and saying, there's a fish, let's cast over there. So I don't know if you call it cheating. Look, guys, I'm not trying to come down on anybody about using this technology, because I'm a true believer in using technology. If it's available, use it. But for me, I feel old school about fishing because it keeps me doing it, I'm about a little over a year from hitting 60. And I want to keep it the way I've been doing it. But, if you want to use it, the technology, that's on you. That's up to you. It don't hurt me either way. But I'm telling you how I am. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that I'm talking to right now that feels the same way. That we want to keep it simple. We want to keep it enjoyable. We don't want to get, and I don't know anybody that would say, I'm just catching too many fish, man. I'm getting tired of it. Never heard anybody say that. But, technology, it's coming along. Just imagine, like I said, the last 50 years. Just think about the next 50 years, the technology there'll be. Does this technology lend a hand to our fisheries being depleted? Maybe. Maybe not. I really don't think so. When it comes to that, I really don't think it does. But I really want to hear what you got to say and how you use technology or don't use technology in your angling efforts. Do you enjoy that day you might catch one fish or might not catch any? Does it encourage you to be more on point the next time you go? I know it does me. It does me. And I don't dwell on those days where I don't catch a lot of fish or catch any fish. I don't dwell on that. When I leave the water, I might say, man, didn't hit it today. And that's it. Then we move on. Don't dwell on the bad days. Dwell on the good days. All right, guys, that's what I got. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the technology today and what you think about keeping it old school and keeping that tradition alive of how you were taught and your experience and your upbringing, and does it affect the way you fish? Or do you just move with technology and take advantage of it and go right on? All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Appreciate you guys. I really do. You guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will definitely get you guys on the next one. GoPro, stop recording.